All right. So if you're not making at least $13,000 per month while in high school, I have two things. One, what are you doing with your life? You need to get it together. And two, you need to watch this video, because in this video, I bring on two of my clients who, despite the fact that they're still 18 years old in high school, just over the last couple of months have scaled their own cold email agency from zero to now $13,000 per month. And in this video, we're going to talk about all the struggles that they had in the beginning, and then that magic thing that finally clicked. And I'll give you a hint. It literally only took a day to make, which then opened the floodgates to the growth that they've now had. We go into the different service delivery and how they are able to fulfill and even book 200 appointments for their clients in just 2 months. And lastly, we're going to talk about the mindsets, the biggest regrets, and the biggest thing that they've learned, so you guys can do it in half the amount of time that they did. So I'll quit yapping. I'll introduce you to Jason and James and get ready to enjoy the show. Alrighty, fellas. Today I got two special people here with me to film a little podcast. It's been a while since I made these podcasts, but I always have a really good time doing it. And the reason I decided to bring these two guys is because when I first met these guys, they were kind of just starting out. They didn't have a whole lot of much going on, but over the last couple of months, they've taken what was really just two guys working together with kind of the idea of starting an agency. I believe both of you guys also had like other jobs and other commitments that you were doing to, in the last couple of months, being able to go full in on the agency, scaling the agency up to, I'll let them showboat their own numbers and whatnot and what they've been able to do. And more importantly, get really, really, really good client results. So we've worked with these guys for a while. I've, been really proud of the progression that they've made. I wanted to bring them on here because I think there's a lot of you guys out there that maybe you relate to where Jason and James are today, but I think there's going to be a lot more of you who relate to where Jason and James were just a couple months ago. So we're going to dive into their story, what they learned, if they were to do it all again, how they would do it again in half the time. So yeah, I guess we'll start this off. Jason, James, take a couple minutes to introduce yourself and share your story.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm James from Ireland. So basically, I'm still in like high school, you call it in America. It's like secondary school in Ireland. I'm 18. So me and Jason met each other about 6 months ago, and we've just been about 6 months ago. We just kind of started a cold email agency out of nothing, and just started working together. So obviously, the first like 2 months we were working together, I think we signed like one client, didn't get him good results, and he churned. And then we decided to kind of make a big leap and join the program, join Dylan's program. So I'd say like ever since then, um, it obviously isn't easy scaling up your own agency, but I think that the program has like made it a lot easier to do that. So yeah, that's
Well,
a bit about me.
let's, why did you guys want to start an agency? Like, what were you guys doing before?
So
Go ahead, Jason.
be- before I was just in school. I knew that I didn't want to go to college, and I'm not going to college now. Once I finish school, I'm not going to college. So I didn't want to go to college. I wanted to travel around, like making money from your laptop and stuff like that. I think that was a big motivator.
Mine was
Sweet. And then when you guys
electronics.
first were like, okay, fuck this school shit, I want to start an agency. What were the first couple things that you guys tried, and why didn't they work?
I lied on
Go ahead, Jason.
copywriting, and I didn't even enjoy it. I just tried it, and it didn't really work at all. But it was just to get me started. I started learning about business, started learning about sales, and like I was working a construction job since then, and that's where I came in and met James, and we started Scalesify, so I did, and from there we just started scaling up and joining his program, and I got the chance to quit my joinery job about 2 months ago there. So a brilliant opportunity, and all up from here. So it is.
Oh, that's awesome. So I always find it fascinating because I think you guys, from what I've seen, you guys followed a path that I've seen a lot of people follow, where it's like you struggle for month and month and month and month and month, and all of a sudden, like the floodgates open, right? Like I remember it was that one week where we signed 3 clients, right? And then soon enough, you guys were over $10,000 a month, and I don't know where you guys are now, but what was the click? Like, what was the moment where like you started signing clients? Like, what was the one thing that you did differently at that stage when everything started to happen?
Um, I'd say we were doing outreach for like a while, doing obviously cold email for ourselves and doing Twitter outreach and things like that. I think a big thing was actually learning how to do sales because beforehand I had no clue about sales. I was just like going off the bat, just like learning like as I went. Obviously, that's not efficient. And once I like genuinely learned how to do sales, it was like a lot easier, obviously, to close people. I think a lot of the operations to like client results, getting client results became a lot more easier once I actually learned how to do it, learned systems and things like that. I think that was like the moment it finally clicked was when like we actually learned how to do these things instead of just like a 10-minute YouTube video. We like genuinely learned how to do them.
Okay. Well, then, if sales was the biggest bottleneck, what were you doing before with sales that like wasn't working? What did you change when the results started happening?
Before I was like going into the sales call with a background with like some painting in the background, basically like a huge distraction, like such a bad looking background. My old laptop, the camera was like blurry, you couldn't even see me. Um, just was not professional, was not following a script or anything like that. No frameworks or anything. I didn't know any like I didn't even know how to include like emotion in it, how to feel like how to make the prospect feel like emotional or anything like that. Um, and after like the program learning it, like I actually learned how to sell to people and obviously how to make it look like it's not actually sales. How to make the sales calls, like how to frame them as if it's not actually a sales call. Um, and I think positioning too, like you have to position yourself as if you're an advisor and not like a salesperson. I think that was a big thing too.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny you bring that up because the reason that we talk about that so a lot, I talk about a lot on my YouTube, was actually from a personal experience where I had a sales team that went through a very similar transition to you. I don't know if you've seen it, but like essentially what happened was I had these guys and they were trying to close and it was the exact same thing. They were sitting there with a blurry webcam, kind of in their bedroom and it wasn't working. And then I actually met, funny enough, I was actually hanging out with Noah, who you guys obviously know today, my business partner, but this was long before we were business partners. And he showed me the video and I was like, hey, some of my closers are struggling. Can you take a look at this call? And before, like I pull it up in the Google Drive, before I even press play, he's like, I know what the problem is. He's like, look at the fucking guy. Right. And then he pulled up a photo of his closer and his closer was, had a good background, nice lit, everything was good. And he was like, before, either one of us open, either one of our closers say a single word, right? My closer has such an upper hand advantage. And that's why I always say like, I think the best $100, $200 that you can spend to improve your sales is having a good light, having a good setup. Obviously depending on the niche, but if you're in a niche where this is more in alignment with that, culture, wearing nicer clothes, throwing on a collared shirt, whatever that case may be. So you said fixing up your background, treating you as an advisor. What about your offers and things like that? What were some of the changes that you made with that to really, get this off the ground?
I think just making like a truly no-brainer offer. Obviously before going into the program, our offer was like um I wouldn't even buy the offer. I wouldn't even pay myself for the offer before the program. So we really just had to like completely restructure it to a point where like the offer is so good now that um they're basically sold before they get on the sales call because of the offer.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you have a good offer, you'll book a load of sales calls too, and it's going to be a lot easier to close. So I think definitely like the even the offer creation training inside the program, like that was like a huge help.
Let's dive into your service delivery. So, what does your fulfillment look like, and how are you getting these results? Because I've seen some of your Twitter posts and whatnot of you just stacking out Calendly pages for people. So, what is it? What is it exactly like? What does your fulfillment look like, and how are you able to get the results that you guys get?
Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, so basically just bringing on. Do you mean just like fulfillment, like what way? Just bringing on sending emails in that way, is it?
Yeah, like there's a shit ton of cold email agencies out there,
True.
right?
Have
Why
it.
are you guys able to get results? Because most people don't in this space.
The biggest help was probably your team, Josh. He was amazing. So he was like any problem I had, like I'd send him Loom, and he'd tell me like you need to do this, maybe you need to use clay, and that's helped a lot. So it has like just even his insights on it has helped me learn a lot as well. So it has, and I've picked up a lot of information and apply that into my new clients, next clients, and the results are just getting better and better. And then replies are getting better, they're getting faster. Started to bring on team members to reply to them quicker, and that's helped so much. So it has, like your
And
support has definitely helped.
oh, for sure, I appreciate that. But what was the biggest thing that you guys learned when service delivery? Like, how did it evolve over time? What were you guys doing in the beginning that wasn't getting results? And if there's one takeaway, like if you were to give one piece of advice when it comes to servicing clients, what would that be?
I would say follow up. We weren't following up consistently. Like we're maybe follow up once before, and then now it's like the follow ups are a lot more consistent. They're tracking them on the CRM that you provide. It's just it's a lot more systemized. It's easy to read and like we know what to do next. So I do, and yeah, I would definitely say the follow ups. And that's the biggest needle mover for us.
Sweet. And then so if you were to say in the world of cold email, if there's one big thing that, if there's 20% of the work that generates 80% of the results in cold email, what is that 20% of the work? Like what takes good cold email from great more than anything else?
I would say studying the your client's product, your service, creating their offers. One of the massive needle movers. A lot of when you get on new
Mm-hmm.
clients, their offers are shocking. So just have to really research the product. Find out what the problem is, change the offer. Ask them to if can you do a guarantee. And try push for the guarantees because it's the guarantees are nearly needed on code email.
Okay, well, I got a good follow-up question to that then. I'm curious how you guys have handled this. So obviously in the agency space, that's a very common thing. Everybody takes on clients and the offer just sucks, right? Now, I want to ask you guys this question because I don't even have as much experience as you guys in this, right? Now, because when people come at work at Catalyst, they've probably been following me on YouTube. They probably know who I am. They probably know what I've done. So when I tell them to run an offer, most of the time they just listen to me, right? But as somebody who, is just kind of getting their way, right? But understands the importance of that offer. When you guys, bring on clients and they don't want to change their offer or they don't want to offer a guarantee, what do you guys do in that situations to make sure that they do run a strong offer and that they do offer the right guarantees or whatever that case may be so you can get results? Like, how do you help convince your client that this is what they need to do?
It's a good question. I'd say first of all, don't take on that client. If they don't have a good offer, we just don't take them on because they're not going to get it. They're not going to get good results. Um, that just really eliminates the problem before like the problem even exists.
Nice. I like that. So what are you guys at now? Like how much have you guys done?
In the last 4 weeks, we collected like 12,000 euros. So it's like maybe $13,000.
Maybe a bit more in Canadian dollars.
Not bad for some high school kids. Are you guys the richest
Not
person
bad,
in your high? Are you guys the richest person in your high school?
probably.
There you go. So that was in the last 4 weeks. If you had to restart, how would you guys do it in half the time? What would you guys
Uh,
focus on?
First of all, we'd probably join something like Catalyst, to kind
You
of
guys,
make it a lot
you,
quicker.
you guys are giving me too much credit. I want you guys. If I didn't exist, you guys were just like on
Uh,
your own, but you know what you guys know now.
I'd say studying it first, like studying sales. Like beforehand, I wasn't studying sales. I didn't know how to do sales calls. I was just going like raw dogging it, basically, just going into it with no knowledge. And once I actually learned how to do it, it's like became so much easier. Like systems and fulfillment too, like practicing even on our own cold email campaigns. Once we learned how to get our own results for our own cold email campaigns, we could obviously just leverage that into our clients. So like practicing like new offers on ourselves too,
Yeah.
like for our own like agency. Um, I think systemizing a lot more things to like bring on team members and things like that.
Was there ever a time when you guys wanted to quit?
I mean,
There's so many
the
times.
I think it was like the first week we joined Catalyst, we were gonna it was actually pretty funny, but we were gonna completely change our service. We've been doing cold email for like 3 months before, like prior to Catalyst, and we like learned it all. Well, we thought we learned it good anyway. We were just gonna completely scrap cold email, even though we spent the past like 3 months learning it, and go into like Facebook ads. I think it was like Facebook ads for roofers or something like that. Um, and we got on a call with Rayan, and he was like, why are you guys like thinking of changing? And we were like, because we think it'd be easier to like learn Facebook ads. And he was like, well, you guys already know how to do cold email. So yeah, at that stage, like maybe transitioning into like thinking about doing like the Facebook ads, I was like, man, what if this like doesn't work? Like it doesn't look like it's gonna work out. But yeah, it took a turn for the best.
Yeah, and that's I guess what would your biggest takeaway be from that experience? Because I think a lot of people probably are, maybe even watching this video right now, thinking like, oh, I should switch this, oh, I should switch that.
I'd suggest if other people in your space are running the same company like successfully, like if you know someone else running a Facebook ads company that's making 50K a month, like there's no reason why you couldn't either. Um, so if it really does like align with you, then just like keep at it. There's no point stopping.
I think another thing that people underestimate, and maybe you guys, experience this too, but just how much abundance there is available, right? Like, people think like, oh, there's already enough cold email agencies. There's no more agencies out there that need our services, right? That was a
Mm,
big limiting belief that I had too, right? Like I didn't know how many agency owners there were out there, right? And then, whether it be my organic reach, like if it ever started to plateau, like I know in the beginning, I began to think like, oh, maybe this is the entire size of the market. And then you learn over time that like, I don't care how much you're spending on ads, you're reaching like 1/10 of the market.
Yeah, I 100% agree with
yeah,
that.
That's
it's
Right. Or we're at a mastermind. Me and James were at a mastermind like 3 days ago, and the fella Lions, is it Lions class? It had sold over 2 billion in sales, and like if anyone just got a proportion of that, like it's abundance. Like if someone's doing 2 billion, like that's incredible. So it is. So yeah, no, there's definitely abundance. I 100% agree with that.
you guys. Another thing I wanted to dive into and talk to you guys about. You guys have a bit of a Twitter following.
yes.
How did you guys grow that, and how has that benefited the company?
So my Twitter at the moment it's like I think I'm like 200 followers off 5,000 or like 5K on Twitter. Like it's not an insane, but it has like helped us sign like monthly retainers, like several clients. It's like I'd say it was like one of the biggest movers in the company in regards to client acquisition. I probably started at like a year ago, and I was like in and out of online business. Started about a year ago, and just been posting like every day since then. I grew up my following, and I'm like having like these viral posts hitting like 50,000 views, like just like nearly every week. And uh, then like those posts, I'm just like consistently posting client results. Like for example, like whenever we're booking our client or our own clients, whenever we're booking them sales calls, or if we book them like 30 sales calls in a month or something, I'll post it on Twitter and kind of flex it out. And then I'll have like a call to action at the bottom saying like, if you want to say I'm done for you, send me a DM. And I'll be getting like these DMs. I think it was was it like last week or something, Jason, before we went to Milan, some guy just DM'd me and he was like, yeah, I want to get started with cold email. He jumped on a call and like just closed him for a 3K retainer in like 20 minutes. It was like the easiest close ever. So I think definitely building like your brand on some platform. It doesn't have to be Twitter. I like Twitter the best, because I think it's easiest, but it's just like insane the amount of leverage you can have.
For sure. So you throw out you throw out these posts, you get 50,000 views, but you only started this a year ago. How did you grow your account? And like, what goes into a viral post? What's the difference between a good post that will get 50,000 views and a bad post that, gets 150 impressions from your own followers?
So it has to be something that people want to see. So for example, that post that hit 50,000 views, it was like a giveaway sort of thing. So I was like, showed my client results, like 200 sales calls in 60 days or whatever. And I just posted on Twitter saying like I made a document going over how I've done this step by step. If you want this document, comment me or something. And then a lot of people comment. I send like 200, 300 DMs from there with the guide. And yeah, I mean, people love that sort of stuff because it's free value and they want to be booking calls. And then from there in the DMs, you can just like get on a call with them. You can pitch them a call. You can book a load of sales calls from there too. So like for every post you put out, you might book a few calls if it's a good post that someone actually wants to see. Obviously, client results, giving away free value, um, a lot of free value. People like that too. So yeah, I think the main difference, like why the reason why people don't go viral on Twitter is because they're posting things that no one like cares about. Like no one wants to know about, or like these like platitude tweets or like question tweets and stuff like that. Like no one cares about that. They just want to see value, like how I can help them or how this tweet can help them improve their business or make more money.
What's it like growing this business with a business partner?
I think it's
I think it's solid.
so much
Yeah. Me and James get
so
along
much
well.
easier, man, with a business partner.
What would you suggest to somebody who's looking for a business partner?
Someone close by, like 30 minutes away from you, that you can go meet up now and then and do an activity. That's one I think is a massive mover. Like we'd meet up at least what three times a month, 4 times a month, maybe 6 times a month, James. And just like we'd go to the sauna to just chat business.
I think another thing too is don't just say to yourself, I want to go out and find a business partner. It has to come naturally. You can't just you can't just put out a tweet saying who wants to be my business partner. You have to find it naturally. And like
Yeah.
two people with the same goal, if you can find someone I think me and Jason got like so lucky in terms of like we want the exact same things over the next like 5 years, and we're like just really, really aligned with that. So if you can get someone that wants the exact same things as you and like the same level of expertise as you, probably in the same position as you too, like just take them on because like for me at Scalesify, like at our company, I handle like sales and marketing, Jason handles like client fulfillment operations and things.
Yeah.
It's so much easier done by that. It's so much easier because I know what I need to do every day. It's taking sales calls,
Yeah.
sending tweets, like doing DMs, cold emails, and Jason knows exactly what he has to do. So it makes it like so much easier.
Yeah, I think that's also a very good point too. Is like when you bring on a business partner, like if you're good at sales and marketing, don't bring on somebody that also does sales and marketing.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Well, if you were to give, I guess, one piece of advice based on what you've learned in the last couple of months here, what would that be?
Go ahead, Jason.
Your final note.
Invest in a mentor, 100%. 100% invest in a mentor, I'd say. And study sales because it's a lifelong skill. You can use it anywhere in your life. And study mindset, I would say too.
Did you put that off in the beginning?
Me and James actually met on a mindset course, so we did, and we connected through there, and then we just kind of grew together and aligned, and then joined your programs with it.
Oh, yeah. I meant like, did you put off, investing in some outside help and some consulting before you ended up doing it?
Yeah, I would say I did. Like, and I did. I was in other programs, but I wasn't committed. This program, yeah, I was committed. So I was had to be committed. There's a bit of
Well, except for the first week when you thought you were going to jump ship.
for sure.
Yeah.
James, what about you?
Um, it might be like a bit controversial, but I'd say like if you really want it enough, if you have all the information in front of you, like say for example, anyone watching this, if they do end up joining Catalyst, like to actually succeed, you have to be putting in the work, like every single day, a crazy amount of work. Like it depends how much you want it, right? So if you just want it, like you kind of just want it, right? You're not gonna put in as much work. So if you really, really want it, just spend every spare second of your day working on the business, and
Okay.
you will grow fast.
I have a follow-up question then, because this is something that I've gone through my entire life, and I'm willing to bet that you guys have gone through the exact same thing.
All right.
Have your perception of hard work changed? Like for me, for example, when I first started, you sit there, you grind for 3 or 4 hours, and you're like, oh, I worked hard today, right? And then you learn, and then as you continue to evolve and as you continue to surround yourself with other people, like that doesn't even come close,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
it's
I
like what
mean,
you used to think was hard work is now like a day off.
yeah, 100%. I mean, I think when you know you've done a good day's work is when you're falling asleep at your desk and you get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning before school and do like 2 hours of deep work before school. You come home from school at like 4 to 10 p.m. and you do like another 6 hours of work and then you go to the gym. And even at that, I feel like I'm not doing like Jason's doing like twice as much work as I'm doing, and I'm still doing that much. So
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, I mean, hard work has definitely um gotten a lot harder.
sure. And I've seen, I think it was a Twitter post I saw, but you guys definitely do make time for the gym too.
Oh yeah, 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 for
Has
sure,
that,
man.
how has it been managing that while growing the business?
I get everything done in the morning. So I get up, do an hour's deep work with James, and a nice plunge, and then I do meditation, and then I do my gym session, and then I start work. That just puts me in real high frequencies, and then see that block from 9:30 to nearly 12. I'm dialed in, and then I eat clean food. After that, so I'll have steak and eggs, and then that next block, I'm just dialed in good food on high frequencies, and just work, work, work. So yeah, and I enjoy every bit of it.
That's sweet. Do you guys ever notice that if you miss work or miss the gym for a couple days, it's harder to work?
Oh,
100%.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah,
Okay, I want to take the last 2 minutes. Okay. You guys have been pretty nice to me, but I want you guys to be selfish for the last 2 minutes. There's a lot of people on this call that are watching this video could probably benefit. So take a minute or so, explain what you guys, explain where they can find you guys, your social medias, all that kind of stuff.
yeah, 100%. So do you wanted to kind of explain what we do at our agency?
Yeah, maybe point form what you do, the offer that you make to people, and where they can find you, where they can reach out to.
Yeah, cool. So basically, we do cold email. We help agencies, basically any service-based business, sign clients. Um, we've been booking like hundreds of sales calls recently for our clients. Um, so I mean, if you're a service-based business, then obviously you need more clients. So basically, our offer is like usually 15 to 20 qualified sales calls a month. We are sending like 2 to 4 thousand emails a day for some of our clients. We're experimenting going into like the 10,000 emails sent a day. So we usually absolutely like double or triple those like 15 to 20 sales calls because we're sending out so much volume. So yeah, that's basically what we can do. Can help you sign like two, three, four clients a month. Um,
And where
on
can we find you?
basically fully automated process. So I would tell if anyone's looking to find me, I'd say look at my Twitter because it's like the most established platform. That my Twitter is just scaling, so SCALING_Shields, SHIELDS, and yeah, shoot me a follow.
Alrighty, guys. Well, appreciate you guys taking the time. I know you got football practice after this, but it was a pleasure speaking with you guys. It was a pleasure learning from you guys. And I'll chat with you guys very soon.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thanks.